This NFL win totals reaction edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up on Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cash back rewards each month. Sign up at edgeboost.bet and use the promo code SGPN.
What's up, everybody? You're watching SGPN. Fuck the Cowboys. Let's go, baby.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
We had to take a break from this bullshit college basketball.
Yeah,
Talk a little real.
Talking about
real
the
men's
National Football League.
Talk about grown men bickering about rules.
Yeah, it feels like we have to discuss these what's the pussies? What are you trying to ban?
Is that what we're going with?
Oh, that's what I'm going with. It's just such a soft move to whine and complain about about getting rid of the tush push. And you see these guys, these hypocrites. And we were talking with CJ in the office and he's like, it reminds me of politics. And I said, you nailed it, because they called out Sean McDermott for his hypocrisy. Sean McDermott saying, well, I know there's no health and safety data that says it increases injuries, but you know, there's certain things that you put the body in the position, and then people are like, well, you ran the tush push a bunch. He's like, a version. We ran a version of it. He would not. The Bills are second in running the tush push,
really?
And now they're one of the teams that are trying to get rid of it. Of course, Green Bay is the team leading the charge to ban the tush push. Second in command, Sean McVay goes, I don't like that we're getting rid of it, and only one team does it the best, but that's not why we're getting rid of it. But it's because it doesn't look right. It looks like a rugby scrum.
He's like a lab. He's saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah. They keep even starting with, look, we know there's no safety data on this, but we still want to ban it. Why would you? It's not that much different from a normal quarterback sneak. The New England Patriots were also very good on their quarterback sneak. Yes, they toss in a little bit of shove, but the primary reason the Eagles are successful at the tush push is, one, they have a very good offensive line. Two, they practice it. They brought in a rugby coach and saw like, hey, this is how you get leverage. They have a good offensive line head coach. Cam Jurgens did a great job replacing Hall of Famer Jason Kelsey. And they have a quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who is not super tall. I guess maybe short to ish for
what's his elite skill?
He's tough to tackle and he's a dog. I would say his elite skill is dog.
But like physical skill. His elite physical skill
is probably like his
if you're making
his core strength at his I mean, look at what he squats.
If you're creating a offense, like skill positions out of quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts is a fullback / running. I would put Jalen Hurts at fullback, Justin Fields at running back. And he's tough to tackle. I would say this. I would say there's two things that are going on here. One, I do think that we need more of this every year, so we get a little NFL during this time sprinkled in amongst football or amongst college basketball. It's fun to have the winter meetings, the picture, all that shit that happens. I'd like to see more of this drama.
Yeah.
We don't get to see combat between the coaches. Well,
there was a heated argument between Howie Roseman and Sean McVay. That's the kind of offseason action I like.
The other funny thing that's happening here is watching the response of Eagles fans. It's not quite a bunch of chowderheads learning physics and air pressure, but it is pretty funny to engage. I haven't really even done it because I don't want, it would only be trolling, but I do find your reaction to it being discussed on any sort of medium, especially God's eye, is very funny to me. It's like it's the stupidest thing ever, and yet every time
they're coming after
you
us.
react, as if you're somehow me and CJ need to hear the defense case.
Well, they're coming for us. They didn't like that we won the Super Bowl. They didn't like that they couldn't stop it.
See, this is where
they are coming for the Eagles.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you win. That's exact. I mean, growing up a Yankees fan, I mean, even now, right? Like everyone's using these stupid bats, but they're coming after the Yankees. Why? They're the Yankees. It's just a sign of having a seat at the spot of the table that other people want. And so as Philly fans, you'll have to learn to be better. I think learn to be the champion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna let Sean McVay and Sean McDermott,
but it doesn't
come
matter.
out with these bullshit reasons.
Well, but they sound like anyone who's watching them can see. You don't need to highlight it, I guess, is my point.
Well,
any football fan that's watching
what do you mean? There's people that are
very clearly.
Well, there's people that are pro banning the tush push, and there are NFL fans that are pro banning the tush push. Dick Puncher, who's a Packers fan, he is the official Packers resident fan. He's saying it's some pussy shit.
My point exactly.
But there are plenty of NFL fans that say this play isn't a football play. Ban it. They're the same people we do battle with all year.
To your political comment, those people aren't going to listen to you anyway. They're not going to listen to the Philly fan anyway.
Okay, well then let's not do the show. What do you? I don't.
No. I'm just saying there's other things to be like. There's other things to go after people about. The Jalen Hurts takes
I did though.
I know.
Now the media cycle. The Jalen Hurts.
This one's dumb because one, it doesn't matter. They're probably gonna one of two things is gonna happen: nothing, or they're gonna ban it, and we're gonna have a hilarious season of.
You want to see a chip on our shoulder? Ban the tush push.
No, here's what I do if I'm the Eagles. I just run the play without the dudes pushing, and now it's just a QB sneak.
Yeah,
and they're going to be just as good at it, and it's going to make all these people look ridiculously stupid. So in both cases,
it's a win-win.
The Eagles
either we get to keep the play, or we get to shove it down people's throat and give us a chip on the shoulder when we're defending the title.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Yeah,
just sit back, throw your feet up, and enjoy the party. You were the one who brought up the tush push at the top of the show. Yeah.
And
I was metaphorically just dropping the bait in the water and watching you take it.
No, I didn't. I feel like my take is
No, I fully agree. I fully agree with the I think more teams should try to get stuff banned in the offseason because it's a hilarious conversation. Yeah. It highlights.
Well, especially if it's only one team that you're trying to stop it from.
Yeah, of course. Like, stop trying to legislate an actual football play out of football. It's not like trying to close a loophole. It's like saying, "Hey, stop doing that," and that's hilarious. We need more of this, but also, we shouldn't get so hot and bothered because at the end of the day, it's a ridiculous argument. And this idea that it has support, this is getting clicks. This is not getting voted for. Because
what started?
Look at the public backlash. No one wants to be on record as being the guy who voted for that. Now what
do you mean? They don't care.
I don't think. I think this is a nice tester for some of these people to see how their opinions take. And I think like Sean McVay, for example, if he doesn't go back and watch the tape and just listen to himself sound like a schmuck.
Well, Ryan, also too, you're presenting this as if I'm just.
What do you mean?
Well, you're presenting this as if they're not literally shoving it down our throats. This morning, I received an email from a publicist.
Well, you're right.
That says
this has nothing to do with me.
Report how the tush push stole the NFC East from the Commanders.
Dun, dun.
And it's this bullshit analysis from an analytics company. Without the tush push, the Commanders could have swept the Eagles in the regular season. Yeah, sure, anything could happen. But what they have like an analytics approach that the tush push's success rate is 84.9%, and if you eliminate it, your math is fucking dumb here because you're giving it the 84.9%. You're knocking it down to 0 instead of maybe slightly less, replacing it with a regular quarterback sneak and or another play. So this guy emails me this PR thing asking if we want to publish it on sportsgamblingpodcast.com.
Quick question. Was he emailing you directly or one of our accounts?
Let's see. He was emailing Sean at SeanTGreen.com.
Oh, okay.
Which I probably shouldn't have put my email address out there, but you guys are cool. That's one of my email addresses. And so that's weird because that's from my personal site. So he went out of his way to search Sean Green.
Yeah, it also just could be what happens is those databases just associate shit.
Well, whatever. I'm on the publicity mailing list. He sent this thing saying, "Hey, Sean, do you want to publish this article?" This is my response. Steve, this article is bullshit. Thanks, Sean. Steve, I'm sorry you feel this way. I hope you have a good day. So Kramer, it's not like I'm yelling at the clouds. The clouds are coming to me, baby.
There is a little bit of a storm.
And I don't move to the side for anyone. All right. Kramer, the point of this episode is to talk about win totals.
Oh yeah. Well,
I know you want to talk. You like your TMZ chatter. You like the hot gossip.
Well, I mean, it is that time. We're not actually playing football, so
I was,
and we know Kirk Cousins was in the Cleveland area.
I was doing a lot of thinking on Shedeur Sanders, where he going to get drafted? Because I think obviously when you're talking about putting together your draft, if you get where Shedeur Sanders goes, if you nail that, I think a lot of things fall in place for you.
Have you started sketching a mock draft?
Not really. Because I want to know where Kirk Cousins goes, because I think that obviously has some impact on it.
You think he goes somewhere before the draft?
I think,
or after what happened last year? Do you think he waits maybe?
No, that's the other thing. You're right. He probably waits and sees and shakes things out. And then also Aaron Rodgers, which obviously I'll probably have to put out the mock draft before Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you've read the reports, I'm sure.
What's the reports?
That there is an agreement in place
with Steelers.
Now, it kind of contradictory to Tomlin coming out and saying he's fine rolling with Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, that's obviously a lie. But I think there's a world
where Tomlin lie. Though.
Yeah, I think there's a world where
he means it, but he's also saying it. Like who asked him that question? Like what?
Well, also too, in his defense, he has won games with Mason Rudolph. Yeah. I don't know anyone else that could do that. Now, he also hasn't won a playoff game in a long time. But he gets a winning record every single season and still somehow is in the playoffs every single year. I think two things. One, with Aaron Rodgers, probably to the Steelers, but I'm going to be doing a little bit more research on the potential connections between Shedeur, Dion, and Mike Tomlin, because I think Dion wants him to go to a good organization. And I think the Steelers check a lot of those boxes. I think him not going in the top 3 and sliding down, and then all of a sudden the Steelers are sitting there at 21, and they have Shedeur Sanders on the draft board. I think that's going to be tough to turn down. I also think they're kind of interested in Jalen Milroe, but the interesting piece is they don't have a 2nd round pick. Now, where does Jalen Milroe go? Is Jackson Dart the 3rd quarterback that gets into the 1st round? Do they maybe trade down to the 2nd round? I think a lot of these top teams could be. Yeah, I heard Todd McShay talking about it, and I agree to some point where teams like the Giants, the Jets, the Browns, maybe they take one of these studs up top and then try and get one of those quote unquote 2nd tier quarterbacks. There's a lot to shake out.
This is 3 days ago. I missed this. Did not see these quotes when they happened. Again, college basketball is happening.
Yeah.
Quote: if it's Tennessee, if it's Cleveland, if it's still the Raiders, if it's New Orleans, if it's any of those teams that are seeking a quarterback, I'm happy with it, man, because I know what he's going to do in the organization. That's Dion backtracking his short list of teams that he'd be okay with his son playing for, which tells me.
Wait, what was the full list of the teams?
Tennessee, Cleveland. I think the list is less important because he's basically listing the top teams: Tennessee, Cleveland, Raiders, New Orleans. He's listing all the top teams he didn't already list. And what this tells me is, one, he's starting to realize, or at least people who he trusts are starting to tell him, he might not go in the top 10. So he's saying, I'm not going to be a problem. If anyone takes my kid, he's going to be great anywhere, which probably what he believed. Like he probably, if he could go back and do it all over again, maybe he would have been a little bit more like that to start with. Their arrogance around how good they were, even in spite of some of the, not so fast.
I think you're looking at how you see it. I don't know. Dion, I don't think really regrets being cocky. That's not Dion's style.
But Dion, the father, he obviously by him saying this, he realizes he caused a non-positive through the process.
I think you're jumping to conclusions.
You're right. It could just be fodder that people have been talking about, but certainly if the dad of a player says he doesn't want to play for a team or says he only wants to play for these teams, you have to have some level of respect for it. And so, that probably was a bad idea considering his son's not a lock to go in the top 5, top 10. And so, he should be happy to go anywhere. And there's a lot of teams with good situations for a young quarterback who wants to get on the field.
All right. Let's we're getting ahead of ourselves with the draft. We got NFL win totals, early look, react to them. We're going to walk through, give our over unders on all 32 NFL win totals. We're obviously going to refine these, but it's fun to have an instant reaction. And of course, why not head over to mybookie.ag, use a promo code SGPN. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts. All my college basketball crown action, all got it down over on mybookie.ag using the promo code SGPN. Get you a nice 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. Edge Boost is great. It's super easy to use. And again, you don't want to be paying cash back fees and all this other bullshit when you're depositing. You don't want to pay extra fees. That's insane. Edge Boost, so easy. You reload the Edge Boost card via your bank account. Super easy. And then you can use that to play on sportsbooks, DFS, sweepstakes, casinos. They got you covered up to $750 cash back each month. That's why I love it. Because every first of the month, Ryan, while you're listening to this, it's probably April 1st, maybe later. April 1st. Love opening my Edge Boost account because I know I got extra cash in there for free. Perfect to get down on some long shot bets. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN.
Just caught an L. First half unders officially 2-2, Sean, in the crown first day over. So we're sitting all right. Defense optional in the crown. All right, Sean. How do you want to do this? We could go bottom to the top. That's always a fun way to do it. I feel like just rattling through. Yeah, let's do bottom to the top. That's how we always do it. I'll sort this here. I will say, having already looked at some of this stuff, I'm still a little surprised by some of the respect some of these teams are getting.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. All right, there we go. Oops. I mean, yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking about before the show, but the Lions win total is very interesting to me. I don't know. All right, let's start with the worst team. Which, by the way, speaking of disrespect, the Giants, Sean, they opened the number at 3.5. It has bounced up to 5.5, along with 4 other teams: the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, the New York Jets, the Tennessee Titans. One of these teams does stand out to me as being a little bit different than the others. I mean, I'd say Justin Fields is kind of like an interesting floor. Russ is also an interesting floor. I know it's easy to throw shade at Russ, but
yeah, definitely.
There's certainly a floor there of
so Browns 5.5. What are you doing, Ryan? Instant reaction.
Is it going to be Kirk Cousins?
I don't know.
Got to go over.
Yeah, I'm on the over here. I mean, they got Myles Garrett still. I think Kevin Stefanski is a decent enough head coach. They don't have Deshaun Watson.
Are they keeping him? Are you sure he's not getting anywhere near the building?
What are you? He's not going to be playing football for them. The owner just admitted it was a huge mistake.
Just making sure he's not going to be around at the facility at all. I love that as an upgrade. Easy to take the over. Giants 5.5. What from 3.5 to 5.5? Bet up. Heavy a plus 125.
You know, my initial reaction was, wow, 3.5. I guess I have to take the over. But now at 5.5, Ryan, I've been on a really good run here, just auto fading the Giants, the coaching issues they have, the issues they have as a franchise overall. Yeah, I'm gonna take the under 5.5. I think Russell Wilson, if he's healthy, sure, that's one thing, but I don't think he's gonna stay healthy.
Man, if he doesn't, Jameis comes out. Give me the over.
Yeah, well, I get it.
Travis Hunter, Malik Neighbors, Tyrone Tracy.
I mean, Jameis is fun, but he doesn't win a bunch of games. That's why he's not a very good quarterback. Right? He was 2-5 as a starter.
That's an
year.
opinion.
No, it's a fact.
That's an opinion. Jets 5.5 is minus 150 to the over. Last year their win total was 9.5. They won 5 games. In fact, the last 2 years it was 9.5. So we're getting a massive discount on the Jets. We love Justin Fields conceptually.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say.
What do we think about the rest of that division? Like, I mean, people are high on the Pats. Okay,
I'm skeptical.
The Dolphins, I'm gonna have to get there on because I'm not there right now. And you know, the Bills are. I'm sure public enemy number one. With McDermott trying to ban the tush push.
Well, they'll be all right in the regular season when they have to play the Kansas City Chiefs, which again, that's what the jealousy is just so obvious. The Eagles know how to beat the Chiefs. You use the fucking tush push against the Kansas City Chiefs. That being said, the Jets, I'll man. Anytime you give the Jets hope, it feels like a bad idea, but I'm a little skeptical on the rest of the division. Justin Fields is interesting fantasy wise. He's shown not an ability to win games, but they have a decent amount of talent. And I think where are you at with the coaching hire, Ryan?
I mean, he comes from a system that worked. Now Jets were 5-12 last year with horrible quarterback play, everything going wrong. Injuries, whatever. They're the Jets. That's what they do. I feel like that's the case. We said the same thing about the 7-10 Jets. Like everything.
No, but that was basic. The upgrade was based on Aaron Rodgers coming in. This time, it's Justin Fields and a new head coach. So I'll take the over 5.5. Right. So
here's the problem, though. When you look back at Aaron Glenn, did they ever have a good? Were they ever a great defense?
No. But I think
I'm always a little skeptical of the guy. It's like, okay, you had a great offense.
Yeah.
What happens when you don't have a great offense? Is that going to be a problem here? I know a lot of people vouch for him as a leader of men, and he probably makes maybe the stability he brings just from a competent coach allows this team to be good enough. But now that I've actually thought about it, I think their floor is pretty low.
That's true.
So I'm going to take the under.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see where this lands because I'm certainly not liking the minus 150 on the over.
Tennessee Titans minus 135 to the over.
Under. Why are we moving this team up?
Yeah, well, they upgraded the offensive line. I think with Dad there to coach it, maybe you're.
I don't know. I thought they did.
I'll take under as well.
Now this is certainly,
maybe it's just too close to the situation.
Certainly, Will Levis deserves a lot of the blame, but I thought they were poorly coached too. They blew leads.
I'm not sure Brian Callahan's good coach.
Yeah, no. What did you see out of Brian Callahan last year that gave you any sort of hope that he was a good head coach? Did you get any sort of bump when they brought in backup quarterbacks? Did you feel like that team was fighting for him? I'm surprised they kept him, honestly. Because now you're going to be drafting.
It's easy for him to be like, well, this guy's a fucking buffoon.
Yeah, but now you're drafting a rookie quarterback, which I always like to look towards the under in general.
I think relatively low even, but still, their
defense has a ton of issues.
I guess I'd be surprised. Like they're most likely to finish last in their division, right? I mean, I guess the Colts also have a pretty crazy low floor.
Yeah, certainly the lowest win total.
Yeah, I'll go under here. Yep. 6.5 teams. We got the Panthers up first, minus 120. I'm gonna go over here. This one's pretty easy for me. As much as we threw shade at Bryce Young and we've made fun of Canales.
Yeah.
You want to judge teams on who got the best over the course of last season. The Panthers have to be on that list.
Well, Xavier Legette also very fun.
I wish they hadn't brought back Brooks and just let him sit out the entire season, because now they won't have him again next year. But this team, like, clearly Canales is a competent coach. They were organized. They got better over the course of the season. The Bryce Young, CJ Stroud thing went from a complete joke to like, still need more information.
My counter is, I feel like all the sharps, all the people are going to talk about this Carolina Panthers team. Ryan, they were a sharp darling. Right. They finished strong. They hit a lot of the hype team indicators. And I think I agree with you. Bryce Young did a good job of finishing the season. He at least looked like a not complete bust, but we've also seen a lot of bad Bryce Young football.
Let me refine my take. All of that being said, they've only won 7 games over the past 2 years, Sean.
Yeah.
They need to win 7 to get over that win total in 1 year. You're right. I'll take the under. I'm going to like other teams in the division.
I'm going back and forth on this. I'll go under for now. I can see myself changing my mind.
That's the easiest way for me, is just think about where they're going to fit in the division pantheon. Raiders -140 to the over, coming off a 4-win season, massive upgrade at quarterback with Geno Smith.
Well,
massive upgrade at coach with Pete Carroll. This is a no-brainer over for me. This is the toughest division in football. That's the only thing that scares me.
Yeah, I'll take the over just because I think Pete Carroll still is a decent coach.
How is it the same win total as last year? That's relatively crazy.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. They were 4-13. They always seem to play the Chiefs competitive. I think Geno Smith, who I think's kind of cooked, but still certainly a huge upgrade of what they were trying out last year.
I read a thing that Tom Brady is introducing some of the TB12 methodologies.
Yeah.
I mean, AKA he's flying in stem cells from Germany.
I think this team doesn't have a high ceiling, but has a decently high floor, enough that I like the over 6.5.
Geno is not going to go out like a bitch. As much as I'm not a huge Geno fan, like 7 to 10 wins. That's the Geno zone. Saints 6.5. Now, are they going to draft a quarterback? Is this going to be Carr?
If it's under. I like it either way. Kellen Moore did a good job play calling with the Eagles, fitting in with Sirianni, the play calling, etc. But I think there was probably a reason that Kellen Moore, why was he a hot? I'll do the Brian Windhorst speed. Like, why was he a hot coaching candidate for a long time, and then wasn't a coach for a while? This is guys like that. I think never pan out. The guys that were like the hot coaching hire. Then they wait a couple years too long. Now maybe Ben Johnson ends up working out, but he might kind of fit in that. I think they were really up against the cap. I really struggled to figure out what they're going to do on defense. They kind
of have to. They're almost better off tanking this year.
Yeah,
or like dumping.
NFL teams don't really tank, but I think they are just so far behind the 8 ball.
All right, they're
with salary cap. Like their dead cap is always a red flag on taking overs.
Let's see, their cap space is. All right, they've cleaned up some of their cap. They're going to be right now. They're 6th in dead money with 52 million, and they have 28 million to spend. So, yeah, but they're also a team that's constantly trying to compete and be just good enough. And to your point on Kellen Moore, his journey around the league was a bit strange. I mean, he took a parallel move to go from offensive coordinator. Is there? I wonder if people go to his birthday party. It's just a weird. We'll have to ask Colby, but I believe there were some stories back when he was at Boise State playing quarterback. I guess I'll take the under as well. Makes it probably more outcomes where they finish under 7.5 teams. Start with the Falcons. Man, I was not high on this coaching staff. Michael Penix looked like I'd rather bet on him to get better year over year than worse.
Yeah.
But this was a lot of. I don't know what to think about this because, like, I mean, pre-Kirk Cousins injury, they beat the Eagles.
Yeah, but I watched that game. That wasn't a good team, but also to the credit, like they won. You know, Michael Penix, I thought looked pretty promising. He shook off some of the rookie stuff. I think they're going to give him the keys to the car. I think Michael Penix could put the team on his back and have a little run here. Now, the counter is I don't love Raheem Morris as a head coach. I'm still a little worried about their pass rush and their defense in general. The division I'm not super high on. I still think it's going to be the Bucs to lose.
Can we possibly take Saints, Panthers, and Falcons all under?
Yeah, I'll take.
Is that getting cute?
I'll take the over here right now, but I could see this opinion changing. I'm not locked in on the Falcons right now. I'll take the over though.
They have the bits to have a very good offense, and if they improve the defense this year, my issue is just I mean,
I don't like the coach, which is tough to get excited.
Jimmy Lake was the D coordinator, if I'm not mistaken. Raheem Morris, did they? I don't know. I feel like we're clouded.
You know, you got Bijan. Yeah, I don't know.
Give me the over as well for now.
I don't love this. I don't love the Falcons.
Cowboys 7.5.
No.
Why are they making this? The degree of difficulty this year is a little harder. Normally we got an 8.5.
This has to be the lowest Cowboys win total in a long time, right?
I mean, last year 10.5, 9.5. I believe probably 8.5 feels like the lowest point it's been in a while.
Yeah, I don't remember a 7 win total for the Cowboys. That being said, lock up the under. They're talking about trading Dak Prescott. This team is just, and the coaching hire was just, it feels like a complete patsy.
That does scare me if I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
But they did go, the counter would be a lot of things went wrong last year and they went 7-10.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things go wrong for this Cowboys.
So consideration for the over.
Well, I know you're secretly a Cowboys fan, right? But I am staying locked in.
Minus
the under.
Minus 110 each way. Very interesting. Colts 7.5. God, the floor on this team is very big time bottom out.
Oh my God, yeah.
You chose to
just start with the QB battle between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Two of the guys with the lowest floors in the league.
The backup. I mean, it's not the type of guy you'd want as a backup.
There's just so many ways this could go wrong for the Colts. There is a potential ceiling. Anthony Richardson.
What's the ceiling?
Well, I think Anthony Richardson
realizes he should try hard.
there were some quotes
himself out of games.
There were some quotes about him realizing the work he had to put in. I think he still has a ton of athletic talent. There's already the reports of him going to Josh Allen's guy for like passing accuracy and stuff like that. He's only started like a dozen games in the NFL, a dozen games in college. Like he hasn't started that much. Now it's a small percentage. It's not a huge percentage, but there is that upside ceiling case for the Colts. They also very much, I think the Colts could be like one of the highest variance teams in the league because them being the worst team in the league, I think is totally in the realm of possibility. I think there's way more scenarios where they win less than 8 games. Win less than 7.5. So I'll take the under 7.5.
Colts have the least amount of dead money in the league. Interesting.
And Shane Steichen, book's still kind of out on him, although he's had a weird quarterback situation the whole time.
So this is the Colts roster by cap number. DeForest Buckner, 26.6 mil. Michael Pittman, 23 mil. Quentin Nelson, 22.7 mil. Jonathan Taylor, 15.3 mil. And in 5th place, Daniel Jones, 14.5 million.
Well, and Anthony Richardson, as much as we make fun of him, he was 6-5 technically as a starter. So
I think you have to take, but
it also could just go really wrong with him. Like if he gets benched again, if they put Daniel Jones in, there's a lot of ways this doesn't work out, but I still think there is a ceiling for this team. Certainly. I'll take the under though.
I think between the schedule, I mean, obviously the AFC South, there's a lot of wonkiness there. And just the fact that we still see Steichen game plan very well. And I think even if it's Daniel Jones, you can probably try to run an offense where he does nothing that would scare you. And it would look like the Giants the year they made the playoffs, where Dable just didn't allow him to make any difficult throws. But Steichen could do that, and that offense would actually work for both quarterbacks. Make it more about the mobility, be a power. Give me the over now that I'm talking about it. I think you're right with your variance, but I think most importantly, I think most of the time this team finishes with 8 or 9 wins, not 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean the
other
6
or 7.
To your point, and the team we'll talk about next, the Jags. I'm super skeptical of them, so maybe I do have to go over because, all right, I'll go over. No, I'll stick to the under.
Because they can just have this weird. I mean,
they're a team I want to see what they do in the draft.
Life.
Yeah, and they have Jonathan Taylor, but
and
I want to see. They're also kind of a dysfunctional organization.
I think I'd like to see them come out and be this power running team, and have your quarterback.
And maybe
have
they
10
will.
to 15 carries.
But that is interesting to your point, Ryan. Both Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, if they really wanted to say fuck it and run the wing T,
actually,
both those guys would be perfect for that offense. Remember when Anthony Richardson had 2 rushing touchdowns against the Jets, and it's just designed quarterback sweeps and stuff like that, stuff that teams with a real franchise quarterback would never run because they care about their guy getting hurt. They just didn't care.
I mean, it could. The GM Ballard is generally he's had the job for a long time. Perhaps that's the only logic behind signing Daniel Jones is that
all right, you're talking me into the over.
He could run the same kind of offense. What does Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson have in common? The best thing they do is run the deep ball, throw the deep ball. They are horrible at.
I don't think Daniel Jones throws a good deep ball anymore.
The best thing they throw is the deep ball of the things that you do. And you're horrible at processing both of them.
Yeah.
And they're both athletic for their size. And that actually makes more sense now that I think about it more. I really hope 15 carries a game for the quarterback. That would be electric. Jacksonville's also 7.5.
Yeah. That's kind of why I changed my mind to the Colts over, because Jags being 7.5 under.
So you're not, where are we with Liam Cohen? Because it was a little weird, whatever went down.
They're so young. Looking at eye test, the quarterback, the GM, it just felt like they're kind of in over their head. Now you could certainly make that same argument about a guy like Nick Sirianni, who came in with not a lot, although Liam Cohen probably had more hype than Sirianni. Yeah, that was not very exciting. And I'm still out on Trevor Lawrence. Show me I'm wrong.
He's a McVay guy. You think he can do some magic?
No,
I don't know. We looked into Liam Cohen. He kind of bounced around a little bit. There's some
little snake like.
Well, whatever you were just saying about Kellen Moore about bouncing around.
Trevor Lawrence. We have a 4-year sample size, 22 and 38 as a starter.
But now he's got a guru.
Okay,
and that was a joke. Doug Peterson was the guru.
I mean, his best. He had a 1-9-8.
You like Brian Thomas?
Yeah, I do. And then maybe they're an interesting fantasy team. They do have Saxonville. That D line is not bad. I'm just skeptical of the coach, and I'm skeptical of Trevor Lawrence coming off another injury.
As soon as everything that went down for Liam Cohen to be the coach, I told myself, we're fading this team this year under. Pat 7.5. What are we doing?
It's a big
what are we? This is the
wheel, man.
who won the offseason? Fade. In fact, I mean, both the Pats and the Jags, the win total 7.5. They won 4 games last year. That's one of the biggest deltas you're going to see. That's what are people betting this? Are Patriots fans running to the window?
Sure.
We haven't seen Drake May win a lot of football games.
No.
And Diggs is the guy.
Milton came in and looked better. Now I'm not.
They're looking at the first third round.
I am not out on Drake May. I
like Drake May.
Okay.
This is a lofty expectation. All right. So they're probably going to them and the Jets to me are playing for I still think the Dolphins are probably better than both of those teams.
Yeah. So here's the positive is Mike Vrabel coming in, who's done a good job relatively, but he also did hit a wall in Tennessee. Now, some of that was they got rid of AJ Brown. They didn't really have a quarterback. Whatever they were getting out of Tannehill, that kind of tank got emptied. So he was 6-11 his last year. The year before that, 7-10. Before that, though, he had never had a losing season. So I think this is just a lot of projection for this New England Patriots team making a huge jump up. And I know they spent a lot of money in free agency, but did they get remarkably better? And I'm a little skeptical too of Drake May. We'll see is where I'm at with Drake May. I'm not completely sold on Drake May. Now he certainly could continue to develop and continue to look better. He had a couple nice games overall, but also 3-9 as a starter. I get it. He's a rookie, not a good team. I have my grade finished on Drake May. I guess I'm a little surprised that everyone else is like, oh yeah, clearly a great quarterback.
What do you think the win?
I'm not there yet.
The Titans win total in that.
And one of those 3 wins, or sorry, he was 3-9, but one was the one win was technically started against the Bills and then they took him out because they were trying to lose that game.
So in 2018, when Vrabel took over the Titans job, the win total was 8. They went 9-7.
Yeah. So that's the case you're selling on or you're buying on is Vrabel. And I don't like to fade Vrabel. That's why I think a lot of other coaches, this would be a lock. The only reason it's not is because of Vrabel. Like that does give me some hope. If I'm a Pats fan, if I'm a backer, that would if Vrabel wasn't the head coach, I would already be locking this up, but he's a very good head coach. I think.
Okay. One more thing.
Sure.
Who was the quarterback for the 2018 Titans?
It's a good question. Was it Tannehill yet or no?
What
Probably
if I
not
told
because
you
you're bringing it up.
What if I told you it was Marcus Mariota? And
okay.
Marcus Mariota and Blaine Gabbert were the quarterbacks on that team. They went 9-7.
Yeah.
3rd place in their division.
Yeah. I mean, Vrabel does a good job of coaching people.
So maybe we should take the over here.
I'll stick with the under.
It's such a big adjustment over last year though. But that does feel like Marcus Mariota at that point in his career.
No, I get it. The reason what's preventing me from locking this up is Vrabel. But then you could counter by saying, look at the last 2 years at Tennessee. They weren't a great team, but they had some talent.
Drake May still is very young. All right, give me the under. Damn it. This one might change. Seattle also 7.5 under.
Yeah, this is coach thinks he's hot shit.
So they won.
House. I'm still super skeptical. And I was fading them last year. They went 10-7. I still don't understand how they did that. And now you bring in
Sam
Darnold, who I
new offensive coordinator because you fired the last
it does feel like the Sam Darnold season in Minnesota was the outlier, not the rule. And then for whatever reason, the Rams clearly had his number.
It's crazy that
he's going to be playing the Rams twice a year.
The win total
wasn't that the only team he lost to last year?
Yeah. The win total was 7.5 last year.
Yeah. No, and they
clear downgrade. No, I'm saying to me, they are a worse team. I wasn't super high on them last year, but they've become a worse team. Look at all these beautiful unders I'm taking. All right, let's talk about the 8.5s. Cardinals at 8.5. Last year was 6.5. So we're getting a little bit of a step up here for Kyler, Gannon, and the fellas. I like the team they're building out there. I'm always a sucker for the Cardinals. Kyler,
no,
is this an under?
For me, yeah, under. I mean, our buddy Ryan Rich Fat Baby McKee.
He's out on Kyler.
He's out on Kyler. If the fans are out on him, I'm out on him.
Really?
Yeah. Under. I don't think Gannon's a horrible coach, but he's clearly not maximizing Kyler.
Give me the over.
Okay.
One more time. Bears 8.5. Now this win total is the same as it was last year. Last year was one of the easiest unders we've ever had.
This one's tough because they probably will be getting a bunch of hype, but I do like Ben Johnson better. I like Caleb Williams year 2. They could end up drafting Gene T. Like they have some talent on that defense.
When comparing to last year, I agree. But the win total was clearly wrong last year also. And so it's a little harder to do that. It's plus 115 to the over as well, Sean. So tied for second for biggest adjustment from the win from your actual amount of wins in 2024 to your 2025 win total. Jags, Pats, and Bears all tied for second at 3.5. So it's a big bump. So what they got to win 4 more games for you to get home if you take the over than last year.
I feel fine with that. Yeah,
that's also that. Which also gets us into the conversation of, obviously you're taking Ben Johnson coach of the year.
Well, look at the odds. I'm sure he's one of the favorites. Right?
Yeah. But compared to a win total.
Yeah.
Cause if they get past this 9 or 10 wins, he's going to be automatically in the consideration.
I feel right now, all things being the same, give me the over.
Yeah. The situation was so inept. And I do think Caleb Williams clearly has the tools. I will take the over. I've said this already. I think if there's a surprise division winner, and it won't be a super surprise because of Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams absolutely could take a bit. And not to mention Roma Dunze as we love the year 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
Dolphins 8.5. This one is difficult for me because I can't possibly be under on the Jets, Patriots, and Dolphins, can I?
Oh, there's every year there's a division like that, and I'm over on the Jets. So
okay,
but there is.
Why was asking about me?
No, I know, but I'm just pointing out in case you were speaking for everyone.
11 wins in 2023, 8 in 2024. I've been getting more bullish on them as the off season's been going, just because there is a floor there. There's an obvious floor to me. Like the offense will do enough. They've got the pieces. The running game is pretty nice. The defense just needs to be good enough. I don't think they're going to be a contender to win the conference, but I think they're going to be a contender for like the 6-7 wild card spot again. I mean,
yeah, I'll take the over for now. Again, it's just going to be how many games is Tua miss, because Mike McDaniel has shown an inability to do anything when he's not there. When he's there, they have enough weapons that they can. I mean, their running backs are super good. Like they really underperformed last year and still had 8 wins. So them getting a 9, I think is fine.
Chat's getting in my head about the Bears. Big adjustment. Vikings 8.5. So putting the Bears and Vikings side by side, like, what are your thoughts? And there's no possible way they should have the same win total, right? Are we just supposed to trust that, like, no matter who the quarterback is, the offense will just work and Brian Flores will have the defense taken? This seems like if I'm doing comparison shopping between the Bears and Vikings, I'd rather buy the Bears this year. Which maybe seems silly.
Yeah, but to your point, it is a big adjustment, right?
With the 14 wins from last year.
No,
well,
and
we know that the Vikings are a team you circle for regression, but 5.5.
I'll take.
This is obviously
I'll take the under just because, as we speak right now, you have a rookie quarterback coming off an ACL injury. It's not.
Yeah, there's no way.
And you thought maybe they were going to start Daniel Jones. It seems like they're not going to start. It seems like they're going to start JJ McCarthy week 1, which will he be able to do the full off season? And he's rehabbing while he's doing that. It's
he had a setback. Like he had.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough start, even if they have a talented defense. And I don't know, they don't have any, like, what's their veteran quarterback that could steer the ship? And it just doesn't make sense. Like their quarterback play, JJ McCarthy might end up being a good quarterback, but it's going to be a rough start. We see this all the time with rookies who get injured early and miss camp. They're slow starters, but now imagine that your entire offseason.
Do they even have another quarterback under contract?
Let's see. I don't know off the top of my head, honestly.
They might not.
No, they don't. So yeah, give me and
they got to sign someone.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure they will. But who's out there? And if you're not saying Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, no thanks. Who are they signing?
What is this number change?
Carson Wentz.
What does this number become if Aaron Rodgers signs?
I'm not in hypotheticals that aren't going to happen.
So the adjustment should be an over, but I'm with you. I'll take, if this was just a rookie quarterback, 8.5 auto fire.
Yeah.
Steelers 8.5. Well, let's just take the Steelers over and move on.
Over 8.5.
It's going to be weird betting on Aaron Rodgers next year, Sean.
I'm already here. Yeah. That would be very funny scenario that Aaron Rodgers is the one that snaps. Mike Tomlin, like Aaron Rodgers is such a piece of crap that he's the one. And obviously he had a very good career, but right now he's just such a cancer, very kind of annoying guy. And just not someone you want to, I mean, am I wrong?
No.
People find him annoying.
Yeah. Him and Tomlin, like that just doesn't seem like it would work. Yeah. They don't combust into flames. They just don't combine into
they
one.
Don't mix.
So Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin will not be having sex.
No, but they will be cashing the over 8.5. That I can assure you, as they do it every year. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't already signed up, Underdog Fantasy, what are you waiting for? Get in on their pick'em. We've been giving out a bunch of pick'ems. A nice little run here with the college basketball. Our buddy Tyson Dejan Hart got the higher 17.5 points. Currently sweating out mid sweat. Ethan Price. He's hit 1-3. Can he get another one home? Washington State up 65-62 currently as of tape time. They got the best ball drafts going already. Millions of dollars in prizes. And do yourself a favor. Sign up. Use a promo code. Fire on some best ball drafts. It's never too early. And especially if you know ball, drafting some of these rookies before we know the team, before they get some hype, certainly a way to smash. Underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. That's right. Love the Rhythm app. It is great for building models for the NBA, college basketball, MLB product is firing up soon. It's very easy. And it's nice to have data because I'm mostly an eye test gut handicapper, as you know, but I got my Rhythm app open as well. It's been helping me. I'll go on a nice little run here with some locks in college basketball. Highly recommend it. Sign up, try the 7-day free trial. No one who has signed up for the 7-day free trial has hit me up and said, I don't like it. I'm out. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get in there, get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
9.5 Bengals -120 to the over. I mean, they have done their slow dance to start the season 2 years in a row. Both years they finished 9-8. This feels like the 1 win total I would feel comfortable with betting the over right now.
The Bengals.
Yeah.
Smash!
Third place schedule.
Joey B, they're going to sling it. And they almost got into the playoffs last year.
Again, they won 9 the last 2 years. It's 9.5. We're getting, 11.5 2 years ago, 10.5. So it's come
knock
down.
on wood, nothing terrible happens. Joe Burrow
they signed Chase.
Joe Burrow's been involved in a lot of weird news stories. Hopefully it doesn't like flip his Batmobile driving to practice or something. And they got T Higgins, they got Jamar Chase.
I think this will be the year I will find my way to taking. Maybe it's a Burrow MVP. I think he's like mid-teens right now. It's a nice kind of price range for a realistic long shot. Broncos 9.5 -150 to the under.
What? You getting plus odds for this Broncos team to win 10 games?
That I feel like they could become a better team and not have a better record.
Sure, but you would still cash.
Yeah, but yes,
right.
Yes,
at plus true. 125.
That's true.
You would still be 10-7. You still have Sean Payton, a guy who doesn't look at his win loss. He does not bottom out. Clearly Bo Nix is his guy. They did a good job already in free agency, getting some of these San Francisco 49ers guys that I think could be nice steals. You got defensive player of the year, Patrick Surtain. And I think Bo Nix is a guy that's going to make a nice step up year 2. And I look for them to be competitive in a bunch of games. So yeah, they're going to go 10-7. What are you doing, Ryan?
I would say one way that if you look at the Broncos, they will project well is that they're in the not quite super elite, but very good in terms of the point differential from last year. I think fun fact. You can use this one touting around the offseason. They led their division in point differential and they almost doubled up the Chiefs.
Well, and I would say that too. Like I bet I haven't looked at any sort of advanced stuff. Don't like doing research for these because I want to come in clean slate, but I imagine their Pythag win total was pretty on. Like I don't remember a lot of fluky wins or weird games that they shouldn't have won compared to their schedule is still going to be somewhat tough. Or not.
Well,
not as
the third place schedule in AFC
yeah.
is the Jets, Bengals, Jags, and Broncos. So it's a pretty like I've highlighted before. I think the second place schedule could be easier, at least equal. But yeah, I think when you're looking at that kind of plus minus, I doubt they're going to show up as looking like a unlucky team. That's for sure. And yeah, as much as I would like to throw shade at I like so much of this division. This is a troubling exercise for me because it's obvious that I think I'll have to go under on the Chiefs, but I like the Chargers. I like the Broncos. Can they all win double digits again?
They did last year, right?
Give me an over. Packers 9.5 -135 to the under.
Careful, Ryan. Dick Puncher, Packers super fan is in the chat. Just careful.
Well, I was sitting around with the man in the box today, and he was pointing out that what's this here? Most garbage time passing yards in 2024. Maybe I should put this graphic on the screen. Jared Goff, number 1, 857. And you know who number 2 is? 24% of all of his yards.
What?
Jordan Love.
Where's Jalen Hurts on that graphic, Kramer?
He probably doesn't have enough passing yards to be. No, he's not in here. But Bo Nix is 3rd.
Okay.
So, that's probably not great.
But garbage time is an interesting stat because garbage time could mean you're up a bunch and playing. It could be garbage time because you're up so many points too.
You generally aren't passing when you're up a ton, but yeah,
I don't know. You watch a couple of those blowout games; they were still throwing the ball a little bit.
So yeah, this Packers team, Jordan Love is still their franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
At this point, maybe they're starting to have regrets. He clearly is not an accurate guy. He thrives off of chucking the ball high in the air and letting his athletes be wide open. And when things go bad, they go horribly wrong. And it's very obvious to tell that when he has to step up in competition, he's not it. Period. I know they're coming off 11 wins, softest 11 wins I've ever seen. 3rd place in their division. They do have the 3rd place schedule. I guess that's a positive.
I'm going to take the over. I think
I think they can be in 4th place in their own division.
Okay, but I think there's
like
enough.
Them and the Vikings.
I think LaFleur gives them a good baseline. I'm with Dick Puncher. Now, obviously, their enemy number 1 trying to ban the tush push.
Really? So you're taking the over on the Packers, even though they're trying to ban the tush push.
Yep.
No, thank you. Jordan Love still the quarterback?
Yep.
Okay. I'll go under. Malik Will. I mean,
they did win 11 games with them last year.
Well, Malik Willis got a couple of those wins.
Well, and that's probably a good argument for the over because they've showed LaFleur even when Malik Willis is in, the guy knows how to adjust and figures out how to play winning football.
I think the
Malik Willis winning as a starter, I think is kind of hurting your case here, Ryan.
That's fine. Texans 9.5.
Texans. Yeah, this is interesting. They're
now side by side with the Packers. I like the Packers better than the Texans. They fired their offensive coordinator. They gutted their offensive line. They're making a lot of changes that they have to hit on.
Yeah, they did. But when the advanced stuff comes out, I'm pretty sure Texans are going to be one of those teams that leads the category of most games lost due to injury. Off the top of my head, I think they were one of those.
Fair.
So,
but they also got rid of a left tackle. I just seems
the Laramie Tunsil thing's weird. I'm with you. I'll take the under 9.5 for now.
They won 10 games.
I gotta get a better feel.
Well, hold on. We should finish the comp because we also are we're not high on the rest of their division.
No.
So they could just walk. They like if they swept their division, would you be shocked?
Yeah.
Like you don't think 5 or 6 wins is in the realm of possibility?
Yeah, they could, but I'm just not high on this team in general right now. I don't know, bad vibes. But to your point, Titans, I'm not. And then I did switch.
I'll fade them under.
Okay.
Did I go under on all 4?
No, we took the Colts over.
Oh, you're right. That's the God damn it. Maybe I need to switch.
Boy, Danny Dimes.
Maybe I'll need to switch my take on Liam Cohen by the start of the season. Chargers 9.5. Yeah, I'm always going to be backing Harbaugh year 2.
Yeah.
I said it last year. I'm not backing him this year. I'm taking him next year.
Take him now and then fade him in the playoffs because Herbert not a playoff guy.
I like that. So you're leaning in all the way. Herbert fraud
guy.
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Have you said it to Decker's face yet?
No, I like Decker. I'm not going to insult his quarterback. He clearly loves him. The guy has a cannon R.
Or week 2. We're going to have to bring it up. Like Decker, Sean's got something to say to you.
No, he knows he's a fraud.
That's not true. He's very, I mean, other than Phillip Rivers.
I get it. You're talking yourself into him being the guy. He's the answer, the savior of all our woes. I get it. I'm a realist. I don't have any skin in the game.
Rams 9.5 -145 to the over. They do seem like an obvious, like they should be the chalk in the division to me. This team feels like it's loading up for another run.
Yeah. Although I'll be honest, I kind of like the division price. Just taking that instead of the over 9.5 at -145.
Division plus 250 a couple months ago, all the way down to plus 175.
Yeah, I would just rather take them win the division plus 175
over.
Lay -145 currently on the over 9.5, but I will take the over 9.5.
Football's back in LA, Sean.
I guess. Yeah. You wouldn't know walking around here.
They got 2 good teams, a couple football guys coaching them. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 9.5. Why? What am I missing here, Sean? Why is it every year at least this year they're going to, unfortunately this year they're going to be chalk in their division to win it. But what am I missing here? They went 10-7 last year.
They're always
their entire division is beatable.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's that division, I guess, much like the AFC South divisions, they tend to have interesting battles, but I see no reason to not expect this team to win 10 or 11 games again.
I'm with you. Give me the over 9.5.
The plus odds here are strange.
Yeah. No, the market doesn't like the Bucks. That nothing's changed. It's weird.
Commanders 9.5
under. Lock this up.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain.
Everything went right for the Commanders.
Everything did go right.
All the like 1 year mercenary guys they signed all had career years.
Aren't they coming back though?
Yeah, but do you think Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, all these guys who have injury issues, and everything went perfect for the Commanders? They won on a Hail Mary game.
Yeah.
Like any sort of regression is coming for the Commanders.
That Bucks game, the fumble.
Yeah.
A lot of things went right. I'm with you. Give me the under.
Giant horseshoe up their ass.
Real quick.
And Jaden Daniels is good. I just think this season's going to be way tougher.
Jaden Daniels is very good. That's the only thing that this one I would write in pencil right now. I want to see what this team does, but so many things happened last year where it seems obvious. Sean, the Bucks are plus 130 to win the division. You like that or the win total better? I think I like that better.
Yeah, because they could win at 9-8.
Rams Bucks division parlay, Sean. We're not getting cute with a bunch of teams, just 2.
Yeah, that's where I got squirrely when I threw in a third team.
Should we black that? I mean, that'll pay pretty nice.
I got to put the Colts in there. They seem like the fun dark horse.
No, just 2. Just 2. We're trying to win this year.
Nah.
Lions 10.5. They were 10.5 last year. Do you think it makes sense they have the same win total?
No, under 10.5.
What's the why the under? What did they?
Because I think 10
They'll
and
get
7.
Aiden Hutchinson back. He clearly was a difference maker on the defense. They're going to add more pieces to the defense.
I think they could miss Ben Johnson, and they lost both. They lost both coordinators. Now does Dan Campbell strike you as an X's and O's guy?
No, but he'll hire a good X's and O's guys. And I like Ben Johnson. I'm a little bit worried about the continuity there, but didn't they hire? Did they not promote someone?
Jared Goff sucks island showed its face, and
in the playoffs.
In the regular season, he threw 5 interceptions. Now, granted, they won that game somehow.
They won 15. I mean,
they won 15 games. I don't see them doing it back to back. I think, unfortunately, if you're a Lions fan, I think they missed their window there. We'll see, but I'll go under here right now.
John Morton is the new guy. For the record. I'm not. I see there's some. I'm very excited. I see some one-on-one interview here. I get to watch after the show. I'm not so sure I can just. Yeah, they won 15 games last year.
Okay.
I think them getting to 11 is not the craziest thing. They still have an amazing home field. I'll let Derek know you're fading the Lions next year. Niners. This is insane. 10.5.
This is the lock of all locks.
What am I missing here?
How did their win total?
They're not going to get the deal done with Brock Purdy.
How'd their win total only go down 1? They've lost like half their team. What am I missing? Christian McCaffrey coming back from those weird injuries.
Is he playing?
I don't know. Is he?
Are we sure he's playing football this year?
Not 100%.
Would you draft him in fantasy in any round?
I mean, no.
Yeah.
Well, sure, fine. I mean, I don't draft in fantasy anymore, but back in my drafting days.
What's that mean? You don't draft anymore?
I don't do any drafts. I'll do a best ball draft, but
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
What round do you draft him? He's off my board for the record.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean,
I think
until I get some sort
football.
of signs that he's definitely playing and 100%, I'm super skeptical.
Yeah, I think Juszczyk getting cut, that was a big blow.
They brought him back though, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow. Pussy took less money.
That's a good spin. No, but just all the guys they lost on defense, Afunga. I mean, they brought Mac Jones in. That's always a red flag.
Yeah. I mean, Robert Saleh's back. That could be a positive.
Yeah.
Or a negative.
I just think
I'm on the under.
Yeah.
And I like the Rams to win the division. Ravens 11.5. All they do is go over. Last 2 years, 13 and 12 wins. Thoughts?
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll take the over.
Of the teams at the top, I think it does seem like they're like the continuity with the offense. They're upgrading the offense. They're still going to be good on yeah.
You love your Ravens, Ryan. You don't need to explain it. Justin Tucker, though, they finally maybe get rid of that dead weight.
Yeah. Now they can spend that money on when to come. Now they can spend that money.
I mean, you don't even really have to do much conspiracy theory. Justin Tucker all of a sudden starts sucking. Then the reports of him being this weird guy who had to get jerked off at these massage places.
Whoa.
That stuff. Those reports, the allegations surface, which would be a very convenient out for a team who just paid him a bunch of money. I'm putting the pieces together. I mean, you think those two things are unrelated? Justin Tucker coming off his worst year, pun intended, and now they're investigating when he comes.
You think that these complaints have been coming in the whole time, but now they're like, this is a problem.
Now they finally have to come up to the table and be like, we have to address these allegations. Yeah, because go back on social media. There's so many people, like random Ravens fans, are like, don't ask me about why Justin Tucker's banned from all these massage places. How does the team not become aware of that? Come on.
They did. They definitely have to know, right?
maybe
does he play for the
like
Ravens?
Very naive.
Is he on the team this year?
There's a lot of heat, and as we know, kickers don't. The oven can't get that hot for the heat. Now, if it was Lamar Jackson, we'd let the justice system take its process.
Of course.
But the leash is very short for Justin Tucker.
He's an amazingly arrogant kicker as well.
Yeah, come on.
I currently have Grok giving me a count on how many women have come out with claims against Justin Tucker. Do you want to take a guess?
21.
Well, okay. This is an interesting number. So 16 formally.
Yeah.
But apparently there is a couple of these 16 are actually representing groups themselves. So
Croc doesn't know how to handle that.
Hard to tell how many.
Croc, hey, we got to get a couple more server racks. We're trying to compute the number of women accusing Justin Tucker.
It does seem like
I like that AI's doing the hard work.
Tucker has denied all claims. That's clear guilt.
Well, again,
come on, dude. 16 different
there's a lot of smoke. I'm a fan of letting it play out.
Well,
everyone's entitled to their own defense.
Let's talk about it.
Sure.
Okay, let's play the conspiracy theory angle. So Tucker's innocent, and these 16 women are conspiring to do what?
Get paid
to ruin your life as a kicker.
Yeah.
Get paid. Why are you going after a kicker?
Oh, he has a lot of money. You saw that deal. That would be the conspiracy. This kicker just signed a deal.
He's a devout Catholic, Sean.
All right.
Wait, did you know he's an opera singer?
Yes, I did.
This guy's a real
very annoying.
How is no one talking about? That's clear cut serial killer. You're not an opera singer and a kicker unless you also kill people on the side. These 16 women are lucky. That's what I'm leaning into. Bills 11.5 -140 to the over. I mean, it's very easy to talk myself down the path of, well, the rest of their division could suck. They went 13-4 last year. The first place schedule, you're probably playing a beatable Chiefs team in the regular season. You're playing the Texans, which should be a winnable game. Ravens, Bills will be excellent, but looking up and down the division, it's where are you finding these losses? They went 5-1 in the division last year. It's not like they get railroaded at home or on the road from time to time.
No, they got a great home field. I'll take the over.
Did not lose at home, in fact, last year.
Yeah, no, they're a good team. They're like the Ravens and the Chargers. Great in the regular season. Don't put them in the playoffs.
Oh no, you said that about the Bills?
Well, what have the Bills done in the playoffs besides get really close to beating?
Oh, just let me
Patrick
move.
Mahomes.
Let me move before you slander the great people of Buffalo, New York.
Well, I'll put it this way: if the Buffalo Bills had Jalen Hurts, they'd have a Super Bowl ring.
Oh wow!
Put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt.
Wow,
Bills Mafia.
Let Sean know how you feel.
Am I wrong?
In the comments.
Am I wrong?
I'm just letting people know to comment how they feel about that comment. Start a conversation, a Discord.
Yeah,
Head over to Discord.
To find me.
Yeah, Sean's very available.
Yep, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Hop in the channel. Happily go toe to toe.
I think I have to take the over here just based on the fact that I think their division could be a bad one. And if you can get 5 or 6 wins from your division and you're going to win all your home games, it's a tough one. Chiefs 11.5, same it was last year. Okay, I know we've said this before, but I'm going to lean. We shouldn't fade the Chiefs, but
no,
this is a regular season bet.
Yeah,
I love the other 3 teams in their division. I think all 3 teams can beat the Chiefs at home or away, and we don't have a lot of data on the 3-peat. We know the Super Bowl hangover gets stiffer each year, and we know that this is the ultimate regression team. Everyone and their mother are going to tell you how lucky this team was. What was the stat, Sean? If you flipped all the 1-score games from wins to losses,
yep,
they would have been 2-15. That's almost. It's both the most ridiculous stat ever and ridiculous. I'm fine taking the under here.
Last time the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl in 2020, you remember that game where they lost but didn't get their ass kicked like they did against the Philadelphia Eagles. They came back and went 12-5, lost the conference champion. It is tough to come back after losing a Super Bowl, but also it's crazy how I think every year he started basically Patrick Mahomes has been in the conference championship game. That's an insane streak. Mahomes deserves a ton of credit. He's one of, obviously Hurts is better. We saw that on the field, but like obviously one of the best quarterbacks out there.
No, he's probably the best.
Yeah, maybe not the regular season. Sure. But we saw it on the field. I'll take the over 11.5 regular season wins. Kramer, you're going to feel dumb if you have under Chiefs 11.
Not next year. Not next year.
I remember meeting a guy, Ryan. We went to Bet Bash. It was just Chiefs under the win total. It's my best play. He was just hammering it. No thanks. They still have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They'll be plenty good. Maybe not great, but plenty good.
Yeah, I feel good about this one. Eagles.
Okay.
11.5.
Over, smash it, lock it up.
I wonder what the numbers will suggest in terms of the Eagles. They were like, how did they health? They didn't strike me as being overly injured or overly healthy.
Yeah.
Did they suffer? They suffered a decent amount of critical injury, like what the model will see as critical injuries.
Hurts missed a couple games. Lane Johnson missed a couple games. AJ Brown missed some time. Dallas Goedert missed a big chunk of time. They had to replace a Hall of Fame lineman.
Probably slightly lucky to have 14 wins with their point. Like they might be maybe within the 1.5 like wins lucky range.
160 point differential.
Yeah, I that's probably
Lions were right
more
around
like
there.
12.5. Lions were 222.
Yeah, Lions were better.
Lions were in a different stratosphere last year, but yeah, I would say that they were probably just slightly lucky to have 14 wins, but probably not to put you under that. And I guess if you don't think the Commanders are going to be bouncing back and not, what was the article you said earlier that the Tush Push stole wins from if they're not able to get those, it's going to be like the OJ situation where he tries to steal it back and that's what he actually goes to jail for. Yeah, I don't really want to take the over here.
That's fine, Ryan. You don't have to win all your bets.
It does seem like
Eagles are going to go 12-5.
I have.
They still have Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
they still have a very good offensive line. They got AJ Brown, Lane Johnson, Nick Sirianni, who's one of the best coaches in the league. I know everyone talk. If you value wins, yes.
Okay.
Do you value wins?
Wins are important. Yeah.
Well, what would you measure a coach by? To me,
I was asking you. I don't have a problem. I mean, he won the Super Bowl. You have to put some respect on his name.
I mean,
I'm not someone who sits here and says that wins don't matter. I'm not someone who campaigns for Eli not to be in the Hall of Fame, even though he's a 2-time
playoff
Super Bowl
wins.
MVP.
Playoff wins, sure. But look at Nick Sirianni's stats. I know everyone talks a bunch of shit on him. 4 years in the league. You could argue this is the greatest 4-year start to a head coaching career in the NFL all time. 48-20 in the regular season, 9-6 in the playoffs, 2 NFC championships, 1 Super Bowl championship. Who in the NFL, in NFL coaching history in the modern era, has had a better start than that?
When you have the best roster, maybe he should have been done better. How does that rank in the NFL during that time?
What do you mean? He has the highest winning percentage of active coaches.
But since he started, I wonder where he ranks. Because he had the number one roster, so he, anything other than number one would be a slight underperformance. So maybe that's how people are judging it.
Okay,
but that's a pretty nice record. Winning a Super Bowl is pretty good. Is it Sirianni or Hurts?
What do you mean?
Like, if one leaves, who do you think's more responsible for the winning culture?
It's a good question. I would say Jalen Hurts. But if I had to lose one, I would say Jalen Hurts.
I'd say Nick Sirianni is very fortunate to have a quarterback that probably commands respect in the room. from everyone.
And honestly, it's a tough question to ask because I know there's been some moments where they've butted heads, but I actually think they kind of are perfect for each other. The type of quarterback Hurts is, the type of coach Sirianni is, and then Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio did wonders for that defense. I know many thought he was past his prime, but did a great job of maximizing guys like Zach Bond, basically street free agent that got nominated for defensive player of the year. Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, now year 2. They were rookies last year and look at the impact they had.
Let's see. I will say the take there would be, let's see how they do with the defensive line losing some components.
I think there's a chance defensive line. I don't know if the defensive line is going to miss much. I like Josh Sweat. I like Milton Williams, but Ajomo, you look at his advanced numbers, they were better.
Well, no, I'm just saying objectively, they lost a lot of production there. Production on the defensive line enhances the ability of the defensive backs, especially when you're playing with the confidence.
The loss of Milton Williams and Josh Sweat's not going to impact the back end. That I could almost guarantee you.
I'm making more of a macro comment of football. When you lose production on your defensive line, you're going to put more stress on your back end of your second of your defense. And that will more likely put them into less advantageous positions like they were last year. That's all. And you're saying those players that played a lot of snaps for the Eagles defensive line,
they didn't play a lot of snaps.
Won't matter.
No, I don't. I think the guys replacing them will have a huge impact on them. And I think you look at Ozzie Ojulari, Ojomo.
Ojulari, like he'll miss 8
It's
games.
a rotation though. Yeah. Jalix Hunt getting more snaps is better for the offense. Jalix Hunt getting more snaps, who was a rookie last year. That's an improvement for the defense.
Yeah, I know. You're just projecting. I'm just saying they clearly lost production.
Okay. And I'm saying I don't think it's going to impact them.
Okay.
And I think they're going to draft another D lineman as well, possibly in the first round. So I think he's going to be in a good spot.
Okay. It was simply to point out that the secondary was in an optimal situation.
So what are you doing? Over under, Ryan?
You give me the under. You can't win them all. You can't even have. You can't. It's like you're impervious, or it's impossible to have a conversation about something that is objectively factual because you're projecting it to not be a problem.
Ryan, but you also said this same. You railed on Vic Fangio.
Yeah, I said his scheme was dead. It worked out really well due to the defensive line. The defensive line is losing some production. I'm not saying they will be worse. I'm saying they will be stressed more next year.
Okay, I disagree with that assessment.
Okay, but they did lose production, correct?
Sure, and I think the guys they're replacing it with will have more production. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But why is that a crazy bias take to have? Jalix Hunt and Ojomo should have more snaps. Their pass rate, win rate was higher than some of the guys they were replacing.
So Milton Williams played half the snaps on the defensive line.
Yeah.
He was second only to Jalen Carter on the defensive line in snaps. That seems like
a rotation. Yeah.
But that seems like a big piece to replace.
Right. And
he had good, like he wasn't just a body.
How did Ojomo and Jalix Hunt? What were their snap percentage?
Jalix Hunt played 22% of snaps.
Yeah. Ojomo. Those guys are going to get more snaps. And I think that's going to end up being
played 33% of snaps.
Yeah. Those guys will have an increased rotation. And I think that'll be good for the team.
Yeah. But
I don't think that's a crazy take.
Okay.
You're saying
my take is that they lost good production, and you're saying that production wasn't that good.
No.
The production next year will be better from other guys.
I don't think they're going to have trouble replacing Milton Williams and Josh Sweat.
Okay.
Would be my take.
Josh Sweat played over 62% of the snaps and was outside into Kobe Dean. He was the guy on the field the most. So it's just like, they're not just rotational pieces is all. Your advertisement of that is incorrect. They were both the second most snaps in their position.
Okay. But I'm saying I don't think they're going to miss those guys. That's my point.
Okay. Yeah. My bet would be the secondary play, which was elite last year, regresses due to the lack of production.
Okay. But you could also say that having Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in year 2, they could improve and be even better, right?
Yeah, but I think a lot of there is a lot like an elite defensive line that's getting home a lot makes bad defensive backs good. And so no matter how good you are, you're going to be much better in that environment. That's all.
So you think their defense will be worse next year?
I think if the production is not replaced on the defensive line, almost certainly.
Okay. Yeah. I think they'll be fine replacing that production.
Okay. Sounds like a bet.
Sure. I don't know what you want to bet.
We'll
I'll
figure out a way to do a
why don't we do wins?
Maybe a sacks bet.
Over 11.5 versus under 11.
No, we're talking about defensive line production.
Sacks are a TMZ stat, right?
Unreal.
Sacks.
What do you want to do? Like pressures?
Sure. Yeah, I'll do QB pressures.
The PSI era. Sacks are like wins. You can't be a quarterback pressures guy. It's a fine stat for measuring the quality of a player.
They'll have a similar level
but
of
production
sacks
is sacks.
Okay. Sure. Whatever sack bet you want, I'm in, Ron.
Okay, I'll craft something up.
All right. That's what people wanted. 10 minutes on the.
Well, it's you brought it up.
No, you were the one who brought it up.
No, I was explaining my point, and you couldn't objectively see what I was saying. And
no,
so
I see what you're saying.
I
see what you take me disagreeing with not seeing your point. I see your point. I think they're going to be okay in the D line.
Okay.
I thought they were going to have a good defense this past year. They did.
Yeah, I'm not thinking. I'm just stating the facts of the universe. They lost production. That production
you're
is
right.
tied to the
production.
secondary, and I expect that to have an impact, probably negative.
All right.
Hope I was clear.
Oh, you are, but you act like there's nothing that can fill this void of the production.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, you are.
I'm saying it.
You're saying it's factual. It's not up for debate.
They lost. I mean, those linemen got paid a lot of money.
Can you replace production when you lose production?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think the probability they replace production 1 for 1 is low.
All right. I'll disagree with that take. All right. We got the win totals out.
Should we give out an early lock? Early strong lean. I have one.
What's your early lock?
I think it's going to, I don't think there's going to be many versions where I don't end up on the Bengals over 9. Like over 9.5 feels like I need to get a paper ticket at the Circa.
Yeah, I mean, how does that not get home? Well, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll give you one. Pittsburgh over 8.5. Why do they keep putting his number below 500?
I just realized I took over for every team in the AFC North as well.
But that's happened before, right?
Yeah. We might have to I mean, the Browns is very low.
Yeah.
And then the other 3
hasn't there? I swear, like if we go back,
absolutely. I mean, they've had the whole division make the playoffs, Sean.
Yeah, last year,
but Joe Flacco comeback player of the year.
Yeah, 2 years ago they all went over their win total. All right, good times as always. What do we got cooking? We got UFL. We got what else are we doing? Final Four
tomorrow night. We're going later than normal because we're going to wait for the Crown game to end.
Okay,
so we can talk second round in the Crown. Electric.
Washington State lost.
I know,
but I did hit my over.
Electric. And then Wednesday we're talking Final Four picks for the actual tourney where all the 1 seeds advanced, and then Thursday UFL.
Let's get it.
Friday VSiN.
Toss us a nice like, subscribe, smash. Toss us the 5-star review on Spotify. Appreciate that all.
And last teaser Sunday, the last college basketball episode of the year.
Oh yeah, the finals. The final countdown.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
I really hope they don't ban the tush push.
Kramer, let it ride.